Everybody, Lutcher for Life here, bringing guys a brand new deck profile. This time around it is Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes is one of my favorite decks to come out of Arc V, and is one of the few Pendulum decks that is still remotely playable under Master Rule 4. Mostly because it's just got so much support and everything just working with it, and of course Electromite still being one of the better links in the game. So yeah, let's get on to the deck profile. I know they've announced a few new cards here and there, but nothing really particularly amazing. Hopefully we don't gotta wait too long for new support for this deck though. So first and foremost, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. This is the main playmaker for this deck. Arc Pendulum Dragon has this very simple pendulum effect where once per turn, when a Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can summon any Odd Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Really freaking amazing link monster. Pendulum monster overall. With a whopping 2700 attack. Since he's a normal monster, he's super easy to search out as well, alongside being an Odd Eyes and a Pendulum. So he's really easy to get to your hand. We have multiple ways of getting him to our hand, and the sooner you can get Arc Pendulum Dragon into your hand and something to pop stuff, you are rolling. And you can do so much with this card and with the other support in this deck that I absolutely just love it. It just allows for so much combos and allows for so much plays, not to mention recursion during your opponent's turn if something gets destroyed. Really good card overall. Absolutely must have as a 3 of. Next up, we got two Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, he's just simply a good beater. Like, really. He's basically here just because he's an Odd Eyes name, and honestly, the Odd Eyes monsters are lacking in particularly strong monsters in the archetype, at least in the main deck. The good parts of the Odd Eyes archetype are very much in the extra deck, so the main deck monsters are really more so just as a means they get there. Odd Eyes does have, of course, the very nice effect of allowing you to search, which, well, destroys him, which can then trigger Arc Pendulum Dragon during the end phase, but this being the slowest way about going about that, it's also not exactly the most ideal. That being said, he does also have some nice damage negation, and his double battle damage whenever he's battling does come up more often than you'd think, so it just is a really good card overall. He is basically a vanilla though for the most part. Think of him just like Blue Eyes, really, I guess. Next up, we got his much better manga counterpart, Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, who I'm also playing as 2 of. Phantom Dragon is one of the better scales to have next to Arc Pendulum Dragon in the Pendulum Zone, as once per turn when your Odd Eyes monster is battling and you have another Odd Eyes in your other Pendulum scale, you can pump up your Odd Eyes monster by 1200. This, of course, in combination with Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, allows for some very nasty damage that can be done to your opponent. Moreover, as a monster, if he's Pendulum summoned after he battles, you can do 1200 damage to your opponent for every every Odd Eyes in your Pendulum Zone, which means if you get a direct attack in, you can do 4900 points of damage between his battle damage, direct attack, and a 2400 damage. It doesn't come up too often for his monster effect. Honestly, a lot of time you do use him as a scale or as just another vanilla name to be able to make your extra deck plays. But however, he is still one of the better Odd Eyes Pendulum monsters in the main deck. Next up, we got 2 Yankee Magician. He's one of your other main scales that you'll be using a lot of the time, having a very nice monster effect where you can just once per turn, quick effect, negate any light monster effect on the field. Comes in handy if you're dueling against Trickstars especially. But his main thing is his Pendulum effect, which in short allows you to make a Xyz monster you control have a level equal to its rank. So if you want to go for an Xyz monster, you can, and you only got a rank 7 out and a level 7, you can make that rank 7 a level 7 and an Xyz summon with it. This does come up with 2 of the like 2 of your best Xyz monsters in the deck, as they do need an Xyz monster to be able to get the full effect of those 2. So that does come up every now and then. A very nice thing, and also it does allow you to kind of play around Master Rule 4 a bit with that, so very nice effect overall. He's also pretty low scale, so helpful with that too. Then we got Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. His Pendulum effect is basically irrelevant. Basically, if Odd Eyes was targeted by an opponent's card effect that turn, you can special summon him from your Pendulum Zone. And actually that's mandatory too. It's kind of annoying, but oh well. Wait, what am I? Yeah. Special summon from your Pendulum Zone. It's mandatory, it's annoying, but oh well. But however, the really nice thing is his monster effect, where once per turn during your first turn, you can target one monster that was summoned from the extra deck, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Very, very good card overall. For that, and if you get them out alongside Vortex Dragon, you can do some very, very trolly plays with this card overall. Very, very wonderful card. And then we got Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. This thing, in combination with Vortex and Persona, allows for some nasty boards, as Mirage Dragon basically makes it to where once per turn, in your first turn, one Odd Eyes monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. That's a quick effect. Very nice card effect overall, and it only protects it once, but it still can protect your Vortex Dragon from a like Regeki or something. Very good card overall. Has a really high skill too, which kind of does conflict with Odd Eyes Archpendulum Dragon, but oh well. Then we got Odd Eyes Lancer Dragon. He's a level 8, 3k attack, 2000 defense. He has a summoning effect, which is irrelevant, but his big thing is that whenever he attacks, your opponent cannot activate anything in response. And then also, if an Odd Eyes you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy a different card you control instead. Or I believe also in your hand, right? Yeah, if an Odd Eyes card you control be destroyed, you can destroy one Odd Eyes card in your hand, monster, or Pendulum Zone instead. The big thing is, you'll be summoning him off of Archpendulum Dragon a lot of the time. Alongside with other things in this deck, he works really well with Archpendulum Dragon, as he's one of your main things you'll be summoning. You can summon it from your hand, deck, grave, whatever. Really good card overall. And just adds an extra layer of protection. Kind of goes without saying on that. Then we got Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver. He's another Odd Eyes monster. His pendulum effect is just plain once per turn. You can fusion summon, pretty nice overall. But then his monster effect is really, really shines. Unfortunately, he's level 8, so you can't pendulum summon him too often. But however, if a monster you control is battling, you can summon him from your hand, basically make that monster immune to destruction that turn, and then you can fusion summon with him and another monster on the field. Really good card overall. The big thing is the fusion summoning effect, because it does let you go into some extra plays and do some shenanigans like that. Very good card overall. I wish he was one level lower, because him being level 8 is very obnoxious. Then we got one Odd Eyes Saber Dragon. He's another target for Odd Eyes Archpendulum to summon. Whenever he kills a monster in battle, you can pop another monster. Very, very nice effect there. And 2800 attack, so you can get over most things. Pretty good card overall. One Supreme King Gate 0, Infinity. Infinity is just mostly here to be searched off of Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. Darkworm's one of the two main foolish targets in this deck, so that you can easily make Electromite very, very quickly. And then also, of course, Infinity is just simply a good search target overall, and then allows you to pendulum summon some of your higher level stuff if need be later in the game. Be mindful though that you cannot pendulum summon if you control a monster while Infinity is in the pendulum zone, so you gotta keep that in mind though. But yeah, just good overall. Plus he's level 7, so you can use him for XC summons and stuff. One Performapal Odd Eyes Phoenix. Pretty nice card overall. The big thing, he has 2 effects. If your opponent is attacking you directly and he's in the pendulum zone, you can pop your other scale, special summon him from your pendulum zone. Pretty nice. It's not going to be anything major, but it is a nice chum blocker. And then also, if he's on the field, you contribute him, target an Odd Eyes or Performapal monster, and then pump its target one Performapal monster specifically, pump its attack power up by 1000. Kind of goes without saying there. One Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. If Skullcrobat was still legal, I'd be playing probably 2 of this guy to switch out to Skullcrobat more reliably, but oh well. Sorcerer here. There's a few Performapal monsters that you can search pretty easily, and he's one of the best ways to trigger Archpendulum to summon out stuff, so kind of goes without saying there. One Performapal YgoAmino. This is another fusion summon card. Once per turn you can fusion summon a dragon type fusion monster using monsters you control, including him. Pretty nice. The bigger thing is this pendulum effect though, where once per turn if you fusion summon a monster, you can add one of your Performapal or Odd Eyes monsters from your, I believe, graveyard graveyard or extra deck face up into your hand. Pretty nice, you know, just overall. And then your other main Foolish Burial target is Noble Dragon Magician. She's your main tuner. You can reduce the level of a Odd Eyes monster you control by 3 to summon her from your hand or graveyard, and then you can only use dragons to synchro summon her. And then if you you did not use an Odd Eyes, she goes to the bottom of your deck. Pretty simple there. Her pendulum effect is also completely irrelevant because she just pops herself. Now then, onto the spells. First and foremost, triple Sky Iris. This is the main way you'll be triggering Arc Pendulum Dragon, as it's the most reliable. Sky Iris says once per turn you can target one card, face-up card you control, destroy it, add one Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand, and then your Odd Eyes, Performer Pal, and Pendulum Magician Pendulum Zones cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, so that literally basically locks down your stuff so you don't have to worry about your pendulums getting destroyed by your opponent's like Nightmare Phoenix or something, or spun back by Nightmare Unicorn. A very, very handy card overall. Just a once per turn search is just amazing. Speaking of searches, here's one of first of the like 3 different ways to get to Arc Pendulum, which by the way Skyers can search as well. That being Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance, you can only activate if you control if there's a pendulum in the pendulum zone, either player, and then you search out any pendulum monster, or pendulum spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. And by pendulum, it means it has to have pendulum in the name. So yeah, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, any sort of pendulum spell or trap, Performer Pal Pendulum Sorcerer, so on and so forth. Big thing is that it searches out Arc Pendulum. And then finally, for the searching for Arc Pendulum, Summoner's Art. It's just a simple add one, level 5 or higher? Yeah, level 5 or higher normal monster from your deck to your hand. Searches out, you know, good old Arc Pendulum Dragon. Then search out good old Sky Iris. We got double terraforming, kind of goes without saying there. Play as many terraforming as you can while you can. Then double alert darkness. Everybody in this deck is a dark, with the exception of like 2 monsters, so extra draw power is always welcome. 2 Miracle Synchro Fusion. This is partly to use as back row bait. You set it, and if your opponent destroys it, you get to draw a card. But also, the more important thing is that it lets you fusion summon a fusion monster that requires a synchro monster. So, for instance, you can fusion summon Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon by using Meteor Burst in your graveyard and an Odd Eyes monster. Or, sorry, Meteor Burst and a Pendulum monster. Or, more importantly, you can summon the Supreme King, who is really the main thing that you can do. And there's a super easy way to get all the materials set up for summoning Zark on the first turn. I'll explain that here shortly after we get done with everything else. Next up, we got 2 Odd Eyes Fusion. Simple fusion spell. It's literally polymerization for the deck, but if you control all monsters your opponent has 2 or more, you can fusion summon using monsters in your extra deck. 1 Fool's Burial and 1 Monster Reborn. It's kind of, you know, go figure. Now on to the extra deck. First and foremost, the cards I play multiples of, because there is a lot of one-ofs, but let's get rid of the multiples. 2 Odd Eyes Vortex, pretty simple to summon, needs an Odd Eyes and a Pendulum. Goes without saying. It's a compulse on summon for attack position monsters, and if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return one of your pendulums in your extra deck to the deck to just negate and destroy. 2 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragons. Still to this day, one of the best extra deck Odd Eyes monsters. If you send from field to graveyard, you can summon any Odd Eyes from your extra deck, or I believe graveyard too, right? It's been a while. Yeah, from your extra deck, just from extra deck, not from grave. So summon any Odd Eyes from your extra deck except another copy of himself. And then if your opponent attacks, or if you attack and there's any kind of attacking going on, you can detach, negate the attacking, and summon an Odd Eyes from your graveyard. Really, really good card overall. 1 Electromite, kind of, you play as many as you can. One of the best links in the game. Gets you a dude in your extra deck. Opens up 2 zones, lets you pop and search and draw, and it's just really good overall. 1 Summon Sorceress. Almost everybody in this deck has a dragon, so this lets you combo off a bit more. 1 Zephyra Metaltron. I cannot speak today. This is mostly used in combination with the combo to get out a instant and free Sark. I'll explain that here in a minute. Well, almost an instant and free Zark. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon as another good rank 7 Xyz. 1 Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, and 1 Odd Eyes Raging Dragon. These 2 are your 2 Pendulum Xyz monsters that you need Zianki for. They can be Xyz summoned using just 2 dragons, but if you Xyz summon them using a dragon Xyz monster, you get a bonus effect. Sorry, just any Xyz monster, not just a dragon Xyz, but you know what I mean. So Raging Dragon, if he's Xyz summoned using an Xyz monster, You can detach an Exceeds material, destroy all cards your opponent controls. He gains 200 attack for every card destroyed, and then he gets to attack twice. And then Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, whenever he's Exceeds summoned using an Exceeds monster as Exceeds material, he destroys all level 7 or lower monsters your opponent controls. Your opponent takes 1,000 damage for each, and then he can make 2 more attacks that turn, so he can attack for a grand total of 3 times. Really, really good card. Very, very scary effects for these two. They both have the effect where if they're destroyed while in the monster zone, they go into the pendulum zone, and they both have the effect where if you can pendulum summon a level 7 monster, you can pendulum summon them. So really good effects overall. And then I believe they also have the exact same pendulum effect, right? Yeah, they both have the exact same pendulum effect where if they are in your pendulum zone, you can just put a pendulum monster from your deck into your pendulum zone. So it's pretty handy. You typically, if you're summoning one of these two, you're winning the game. So you don't really get their effects in the pendulum zone too often, but it is handy. Moving on to the Synchros, 1 Black Rose Dragon for nuking the board, 1 Meteor Burst because he's just stupid good, negating all monster effects during the battle phase on your opponent's side of the field, and well, not just your opponent's side of the field, but basically he makes it to where your opponent can't activate monster effects during the battle phase, and if you summon, you can summon a dude from your pendulum zone onto your field. Really, really good overall. 1 Clearwing Fast Dragon. I was kind of debating between him and regular Clearwing, but I figured that the fact that this guy is a Synchro Pendulum is a bit more important, as you can keep summoning him out more often, and also his effect is a bit better, whereas basically it's once per turn in your player's turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that was special from the airstrike, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Literally the same thing as Persona Dragon, I just realized that. He's a better Persona Dragon. Really, really good card overall though. 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon as my other really good target for fusion summoning. And then, of course, the Supreme King, Zark, who is basically an auto win button, because if you summon this, your opponent's going to have to kaiju it, or they just kind of lose, because nobody plays Utopia the Lightning anymore. So that's the deck. If you're wondering what the combo is to basically get everything instantly for Zark, all you really need to do is you need to make good old Meteor Burst, use his effect to summon out a dude from your pendulum zone, and then you overlay for good old Absolute Dragon, and then you use him and where'd he go? Electromite for link material to make Zephyr Metaltron, and then that will special summon out good old, where'd he go? That'll special summon out Vortex from your X deck. So doing that will instantly get you a Fusion on field, and then a Pendulum, a Synchro, and a Exceeds Dragon in your graveyard. So doing that, which it's super easy to do, all you gotta do is make Meteor Burst, which just needs Noble Dragon Magician and any of your level 7 Odd Eyes monsters on field, plus the level 7 Odd Eyes in your Pendulum Zone. So it's really easy to do, and you can do it first turn, and that just literally loads up your graveyard right there. All you need then is to worry about getting Miracle Synchro Fusion to your hand, which it's kind of hard to do because there's not many easily good ways to search out it is a fusion spell, so if you want to tinker around with Orpheus Scorpio or a few other different ways, you can do that, but there's just not many particularly amazing ones that work well with this deck overall. So guys, that's the deck profile. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I've been trying to avoid having to say that, but I'm starting to think I have to. So guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.